Saw a bird flew down this morning as if he's saying something to me. Sitting on the limb of a tree, giving me a sound of sweet melody. I guess he's trying to tell me something, something that I should know about this new wind, a new wind that's gonna blow. It's the raining of the heathen coming down on my people, taking the goodness of life and rendering them evil. You see, the little that they gave you was just to deceive you. Don't tell me that you were blind. Don't let the devil fool you. Oh, oh, yeah. Somehow I know things have got to change. Ooh, wee, oh, oh, oh. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged.
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience. On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media. Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae2reggae.com. Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893, no one ever thought of putting the 2 hours of music together until we created reggae to reggae.com. Since the first public demonstration of radio by Nikola Tesla in 1893,
somehow I know things have got to
change. And I'm having, this is the color I'm drinking today. It's not carrot juice. It's not a green drink. I am on another master cleanse, right? So this is cane juice, cayenne pepper, and lime juice. Wonderful. And I have 6 to 8 glasses of these a day. Nothing else. Keeps me totally full and cleanses me at the cellular level. My dear, whenever I am approaching holiday times or special seasons, I always make sure that I do a cleansing before, so that I can just do what I want, eat what I want, make sure that I am able to enjoy anything without fear of having put on already too much weight. So I losing the weight first, and then do what I want to do. After all, you can't just be restricting yourself like this, right? You got to prepare for those things. And it's the same way you prepare for any kind of stress that is going to be on your bodies, your minds, or your spirits. Prepare before. That is why you have to pay as you enter. Always sow those things before. And then afterwards, enjoy yourself and just go along. Right? So we are talking about my destiny supersedes my mistakes. No matter where I have been, no matter what you have done, it will not make a difference. Time management has to be applied to how I relate to my mistakes, because it is possible to what we call redeem the time. All the time taken to do all the wrong things can be redeemed. What does that mean? It can be reversed. The effects of it can be reversed. And it's almost as if it can be taken around and used to your benefit. Because that is how we use all the things that are difficult about our birth defects. Let's put it that way. I told you I was born with 4 ankles. What do I end up being? A liturgical dancer, having danced all around the world. But that is a result of the defects that I had at birth, of the challenges that faced me. In an effort to move through those challenges and get over them, you develop and counteract those challenges that you had at birth. That's why there are no mistakes, because guess what? God knew that in the journey of dealing with your challenges, you develop the ability to get over everything. Not just those challenges, but you transfer this capability to all the other things that face you. Voila! So that is why you can count it all joy. Embrace those things. Well, let me just go through my notes now. I don't want to miss anything. Remember, in all our series on celebrating life, we have a sequence. We have ground rules. And the first one is you must know where you're going. Direction, guidance. 2, you must know your driver. Who is running this journey? Who is driving this bus? Right. 3, you must pay as you enter. Up front is where you do all the putting in, right? Up front is where you contribute to what's going on, right? And then you will be able to do rule number 4, which is enjoy the ride. You cannot enjoy the ride if you don't have these 3 things in place. And so every program, we go through these 4 steps so that we can celebrate life every moment of every day. That's how I live my life. And yesterday I was telling you about a crisis I had at the beginning of the day. I was bawling so loud that the neighbors came over. But that's just a part of life. It's a part of getting there. And guess what? If you have a focus to always go back to this operations manual, you will get through it, around it, above it, below it, and come out smelling like a rose. Smell like a rose. So, what we have to do is always go back to the operations manual for everything that we need. Right? Good. So, here we have knowing where you're going. Right? We spoke about Samson and we spoke about Esther. Both of them eventually did do what they were destined to do. Bring down the enemy. Right? And provide an outlet, security for their people. That's what each one of us, not just for our family, we all individually impact the whole world. We all individually impact our marriages. Remember what I spoke about neck turning the head? Moving right along. So listen to this. My destiny supersedes my mistakes. And no matter where I have been, no matter what I have done, when God designed the plan for my life and for your life, it was not dependent on my being perfect, never making a mistake, or never making a wrong turn. God has a plan to help you reach your destiny. It doesn't matter what route you take. You know, if you're going from here to Montego Bay, there are several routes you can travel. Some are shorter, some are longer, some take more hill and gully, some have more turns, etc. If I'm flying from here to Tokyo, you know how many routes I can take, right? Because I could go via here, or I could go through that country, or I could go by boat, I could go by ship, I could go by airmail. Think I could hold it in package? That would have to be sea mail. Anyway, I could go by any set of routes. But I could go by 2 little planes, one go to here, one go to here, one go to here. I could go by one supersonic jet and just go, can I go to Tokyo in one trip? I don't think so. I'd have to do at least one stop. So that sounds like it's about a 2 to 3 day from Jamaica. I remember when the supersonic was flying, I used to go vroom. First of all, to New York, and then vroom, from New York over, right? But you got the picture? The issue of routes to get there is not the issue. The issue is destination. Know where you're going. The issue is your journey. Who is driving the plane, flying the plane, or driving the bus? You need to get that clear, because once he's driving the bus, he might be us packed. Remember, God knows that we would all make mistakes. He knows how to get you back on track, no matter where you are in life. Just like there are many routes to any place on a map, He has already calculated the entire route for your life. More on that when we come back. Soon come back.
Somehow I know it's got to be
On reggae2reggae.com, we encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
I was a short break and I was getting a short drink, right? During the show, I go through 16 ounces of this thing. Wonderful. No, today, if you feel like you have blown it, or you think that you have just not been able to do what you need to do, remember what I just said. When the Creator made you, He knew you were going to make every mistake that you made. And He has a plan B. A lot of people don't think there's a plan B. I always try to patch into plan A. But most of the times I fail. There's always a plan B. And plan B brings you right to the same expected end. Now, I don't want to go to plan C, D, E, and F like Samson. Because you have all of those plans. I would prefer to go to plan A or B and not dropping lower than B. When I went to high school, I was put in the F stream. I wonder why, because I was such a brilliant child. I know why. The day I went to take the scholarship exam, I was roasting with fever, 106. And my mother said, honey, you're just 10, so you can do it next year. I said, no, mommy, all my friends are going to go to high school. I used to go to VAS prep. VAS prep, PERS. And I said, can you imagine all of them go to high school and leave me? And she said, all right, go. And she came with me. Our center was at Vauxhall, down Windward Road. First time I ever go so far down Windward Road. And she went and sat outside on the bench while I was inside the exam. And when I came out, she just gave me something to drink and pat all the sweat because I was having fever. And she said, you sure you can manage just to go back in? I said, yes, mommy. When me there, me scraped through by the skin of my teeth and was promptly put in the F stream when I reached to Excelsior. I was most upset. At that point, I said to my mother, well, if they kick in the F stream, I am going back to VAS to do another year and take over the scholarship. So out of some sort of I don't know what happened. I eventually got moved the next week into the C stream. So that wasn't too bad. But I decided after that, any more movement is putting me in the A stream. So when I dropped short from the A, I was in the B stream. So that's all, no problem. Everybody came in the A stream. I know something. After I became more mature, I realized that nothing wrong with the F stream. Because I was going to call a name, who were in the F stream, end up in a big business, then couldn't pass docs at school. But guess what? School was not their thing. And now they are able to be in business and a lot of, because that was where their genius was, not in academics. So look, don't push a kid, don't push them. They must be always A and always B or always first or third. How can you have everybody coming first? And what is the school system assessing anyway? It is assessing one of your geniuses. It's called verbal linguistics. You need to come and do a genius analysis to understand that the school system only assesses one of the 10 geniuses that we have been gifted with. So And guess who is gifted with those? That genius. Only 3% of the population that God made. He only gifted 3% to be academic and researchers. Those are the verbal linguistics. But guess what? All of us are expected to operate well in that area. And that is an unreasonable request to make of your child. So make sure you understand that your child has geniuses outside of the scholastic, verbal linguistic, or academic areas, and that there are several other areas that we are going to do in another program. I don't know when, sometime in the next year. But we are going to go through every one of those geniuses and show you how you can assess it for yourself. This is a psychometric test that costs between $30,000 and $75,000. But you are going to get it free on Reggae to Reggae as we proceed to that place. So here we are looking at time management, how you use your time. Just remember, please remember. Today, if you feel like you have blown it, if you feel like you are too old, you are too far gone, you are too far off track, been there, done that. I tell you, when I got married outside of the will of my Creator, I thought I was so far off track. There was no redemption for me. And then whoops, and I was next married to a wonderful man who was totally suited to complement and supplement everything that I never have. And had a wonderful 18 years of marriage. When I thought I was too old, I got a teacher's scholarship when I was 18 to go to university. And I said, well, I don't want to do no teaching. I am going to go to New York to spend some time with my cousins. And I just ignored the scholarship. Never came back, never did it. Why? I was afraid that I could not keep up for 4 years. I only like to do short courses. Well, time passed. That was 18 years old. You know when I started going back to university? 40 odd. But guess what? God redeemed the time. And between 40 and about 50, 53, 54, I did about 8 degrees. You hear me? So don't feel no way. You are not too far gone. You are not too far off track. And you are not too old. When I decided at age 6, I wanted to do something. Fly around the world on 10% of my income. You know when it came to pass? When I was 56. It is never too old. And you see what is happening here? I got a vision. I must have been in my 20s of having an international network with billions in it. You hear me? Not millions, billions. And I'm telling you, it is going to come to pass before I reach 66. I have 1 year and 4 months left to go before I reach 66. And it's going to happen. So don't feel no way about time. This is how you need to look at time. You got to manage your time. You got to put in. Don't let go of those dreams and visions, right? Know that nothing you have done is a surprise to God. No mistake that you have made or will ever make is going to affect it. He has already got it all figured out and has arranged a comeback For every setback, he has arranged a comeback for every setback. Yeah. He has grace for every weakness. He has mercy for every failure. His gifts and callings are irrevocable. You know, say, what I'm saying here, where I write it out here. So this last one came from Romans chapter 12. No, I'm wrong. Romans chapter 11, verse 29. You go look it up. It says, his gifts and calling are irrevocable. Irrevocable. You see the calling he had on Samson's life to be the agent of destruction of all his enemies and the freeing of his people. It's the same calling that is on your life. Do you see the calling he had on Esther's life? To be the agent of destruction for the enemies, your people's enemies, Jamaica's enemies. It's the same calling and instructions that are on your life. Your response determines how it is fulfilled, because it doesn't determine if it will be fulfilled. Because you hear what happened? The rocks and the stones will be taken up to do this if you don't fulfill it. But I am here to tell you, you will fulfill it. You will fulfill it. But it's your decision whether you enjoy it and benefit from it during your lifetime. Samson didn't. He just went from one struggle to the other struggle until his light was taken out, his eyes. And then eventually his life was taken. In the actual doing of fulfilling of his destiny. Is that what you want? Your choice. On the other hand, there's Esther. And she decided that she said, if I perish, I perish. I am going to focus on what is ahead for me. I am going to focus on what instructions and godly counsel I have received from here. And it does not matter what it takes to bring it to pass. I am going to attempt it. And that's all you need to do. Attempt it. After that, the person who made the instructions in the first place will come in. Now, I talk so much about what is going to happen. And, I wonder if persons understand what their part is. Well, let me finish talking about everything else that is going to be happening. I mentioned there is a comeback for every setback. I like that word. Yeah, a comeback for every setback. Who doing the comeback? Not me. The person who made the plan in the first place, they're the best one to execute it. After all, he has grace for every weakness. He has mercy for every failure. His gifts and callings are irrevocable. Romans chapter 11, verse 29. You go and eyeball it for yourself. Because when I tell you so, you think that is my reality. You read it so that it can become your reality. Well, I am here to tell you that you have a responsibility. And when you come back in the next section, that is when I'm going to tell you what you have to do. Because that is the most important part. This is all put in place already, How do you patch into it? So come back.
These words have been spoken by my master. They will come to pass. Injustice, this world could never last.
reggae2reggae.com. We encourage our listeners with an inclusive, intelligent, and innovative alternative media experience.
Somehow I know things have got to change.
Yay! Right, this is my red flag. I couldn't find anything but a red flag, right? And this is the eyes of the seer. I see your future. Dun, 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 dun. Anyway, why am I saying this? This is how you can predict your own future, you know. You can predict your own future. It's right in here. Your choice, whether you go and predict it or not. And you know, I'm looking at predestination, foreknowledge, and prophecy. 3 interesting words. But guess what? They all mean the same thing. God predestinates based on his foreknowledge. And he prophesies or speaks forth. It's not just foretelling in prophecy, no. It's also forthtelling. And that forthtelling is all in here. All 3 of them in here. Foreknowledge, predestination, and prophecy. They all mean the same thing. God's way of dealing with time. Managing time. Remember that he is the I am that I am. And we looked at what that meant when you were doing names of God. See? So, what is my responsibility? And we are down here now to the big one. This is the big one, you know. Because let me tell you something. Anyhow you don't do your responsibility, you're kind of dark. Right? Because all that has been done for you already leads up to your doing your responsibility. Right. Now, remember we did know where you're going, know your driver, and know it's pay as you enter. And this is so important. That's why I left it down to the last. Because it's the only way you are going to enjoy the ride and be able to celebrate everything. Now, hold on to your chair. Get your pencils ready. Because you have to write this down. Your part is to become a 0. Your part is to become a 0. The only way I have been able to do so many things in so short a time is to become a 0. I am here to tell you that just yesterday I went through all my profiles. I have about 10 of them. And my long, what I call resume is about 5 pages long of all the schools I've been to, the courses I've done, the jobs I've worked at, the 5 pages long. And every time I have occasion to give it out, people say, how could you do this? This is like 3 to 5 lifetimes. And I say, it's because I have become a 0. Once you become a 0, there are 2 aspects of 0 that you need to always remember. One, a 0 has the greatest value because when you add it to numbers, if you have a 9 and you add 0 to it, it becomes 90. And if you add another 0 to 90, you'll get 909,000. 9 billion, 9 million, 9 trillion. That is how you have value. Why? Because when you are a 0, you have removed all of your issues, including your training, including your failures, including your mistakes, including all the things that you do not do well or have not done well. When you become a 0, you have cleared the channel of the life-giving power of your Creator to flow through you. When I was created, He breathed into me the breath of life, and I became a living soul full of light. When He breathed into me, I became a living soul full of light. Wherever there is no darkness, then there is no lack. There is no lack of knowledge. There's no lack of anything. Everything you need is there. There is no lack. One of the downfalls of light is that you can see everything. And you have to make a choice as to how you are going to approach everything. Because one of the downfalls of light is that you can see what is right and what is wrong. Tree of knowledge of good and evil. And that is what we often make the wrong mistake and do. When you are full of light, you are able to see everything that is good and everything that is bad. Now you have a choice. You can become a 0 and have maximum value so that there is nothing of you, including your education and your research. All the things that I have done in my over 8 degrees, I count them but loss. I take that information and I do not use it. I don't use that information in doing my diagnosis because I know that while I will be able to pinpoint quite a few and often most of the problems, as I have in the past, relating to that condition or that person, I'm usually on the button, except for the most important part. And guess what? God supplies that. He has said, if you empty yourself of everything, including all your superior knowledge and information, He will put all of His clear. And so this is an exchange that nobody should pass up, because I don't care how much I know, and I hope you don't care how much you know. If you have access to all the knowledge in the universe from the Creator of everything, why would you not use it? Become a 0. That's your part. Become a 0. Acquire the greatest value and be an unblocked, open channel for God to flow through you to others. And that is how we can celebrate the journey. Which brings me to point number 4. See how short point number 3 was? Because it's nothing. I just wanted to mention a little bit about all this knowledge and all these studies and things that people have done, all these heights that they've moved to. It's for one reason: influence. God has placed us specifically in different fields, in different areas of study, or areas of work, or areas of geographical areas, neighborhoods, for purpose, so that we can have an opportunity to have an open door, because we've been there and done that, to that. If you're an engineer, it gives you an open door to engineers. If you're a garbage man, it gives you an open door to a garbage man. If you live in that area, you have a physical open door to people in that area. Consequently, we need to understand that all our knowledge, all our experience is for one reason: to have a door into the influences that we need to have, and the people. So all the experiences and exposure have to do with the fact that, oh, I've been there. I know these people. I can relate to them. I know their trainings. I know how their minds think, etc. So remember that. But when it comes to transmitting information and doing anything, be a zero. An open channel for God's bountiful abundance to flow to you and through you. And of course, you will benefit from it as it's coming through. Can't muscle the ox when it's eating, treading out the grain and working. They can eat as much as they want. Make sure your belly don't bust though. If you want to use it on your own lust, and that's going to happen. So watch it. You have access, but don't overdo it. Don't live so lavishly that you are moving right along. We have about 2 minutes left. I would like to lead you into a prayer that will free you to enjoy the ride. So let's go. Father, thank you for the gifts and talents you have given me. Wow. Thank you for the gifts and talents you have given me. I get enough, and I am thankful for every one of them. Thank you for keeping me on track because of your grace and your mercy and the fact that you know everything beforehand and you have a combat for every setback. And thank you for ordering my steps. How? Through your word is a lamp and a light. Keep me close to you always as I set my love upon you. I love you, Lord. How do I show my love? If you love me, and you will obey my commandments. I release my time into your hands. Let that be your prayer until tomorrow, when we're going to do some more on this exciting time management series. It's bye-bye from Celebrate Life on reggae2reggae.com.
On reggae2reggae.com. Dr. Sheril Chung on reggae2reggae.com. Dr. Sheril Chung on reggae2reggae.com. Dr. Sheril Chung on reggae. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Somehow I know things have got to change. Somehow I know it's got to be rearranged. Saw a bird flew down this morning as if he's saying something to me. Sitting on the limb of a tree, giving me a sound of sweet melody. I guess he's trying.
No